Have you ever looked into a woman's eyes and felt something real only to watch her slowly pull away? Have you ever felt her affection, noticed her warmth, sensed that she cared, and yet somehow she kept her distance anyway? You replay every conversation, every text, every moment. You wonder what you did wrong. Maybe you were too available. Maybe you weren't attractive enough. Maybe another man appeared. Maybe you simply weren't enough. And the worst part, you never got an answer. She didn't hate you. She didn't reject you outright. She just drifted, far enough to make you question everything. If that sounds familiar, stay with me. Because what you're about to learn changes the way you see female psychology forever. I'm glad you're here. This is the Stoic Way, where we uncover the real psychology that creates desire. And I'll warn you now, the final one is incredibly powerful. It can change everything fast, and almost no one uses it correctly. Here's the truth. Many women who feel deep attraction don't move closer immediately. Sometimes they move away. Not because they don't care, because they care more than you realize. That sounds strange. But female attraction rarely operates in a straight line. A woman can feel strong emotions while simultaneously creating distance. She can desire connection while protecting herself from it. She can imagine a future with you while acting cautious in the present. Most men completely misunderstand this. And because they misunderstand it, they chase harder. They push, they explain, they seek reassurance, and that pressure slowly destroys the very thing they were trying to build. This was never your fault. Nobody taught you this. Nobody explained that attraction is often emotional before it becomes logical. Nobody explained that women respond to deep patterns happening beneath conscious awareness. You weren't broken. You were simply using the wrong map. And when a man uses the wrong map, every direction feels confusing. Let's fix that. Evolutionary psychology gives us an important clue. Human beings developed mental shortcuts over thousands of years. The brain constantly scans for safety, for value, for strength, for emotional certainty, and for uncertainty. Yes, both. Female attraction often grows through a fascinating balance between comfort and mystery. Too much uncertainty creates anxiety. Too much certainty creates boredom. The subconscious mind is always scanning, always evaluating, always asking silent questions. Can I trust him? Can he lead himself? Does he have purpose? Does he need validation, or does he generate value from within? When you understand these hidden signals, everything changes. You stop chasing. You stop forcing. You stop performing. And you become the man women naturally want to understand. The first trigger is masculine presence, not muscles, not status, not looks. Presence, grounded energy, the ability to remain calm when emotions rise. Many men think attraction starts with appearance. Often it starts with emotional stability. Imagine you're on a date. She tells you about a stressful situation. Most men rush to impress. They interrupt. They over-explain. They try to prove their worth. But you stay centered, you listen, you respond calmly, your energy doesn't shake. That stability communicates something powerful, strength without force. A woman feels it, even when she can't explain it. Grounded men create emotional safety. And emotional safety creates attraction. Be the calm in the storm. The second trigger is emotional challenge. This is where many men become predictable. They agree with everything, approve everything, validate everything, and slowly become forgettable. Attraction needs polarity, not conflict, polarity. Playful challenge creates emotional movement. Suppose she says she's always right. Instead of immediately agreeing, you smile. You say, that sounds exactly like something a person who's wrong would say. Light, playful, relaxed, no hostility, no ego, just tension and release. The emotional experience becomes memorable. Dopamine responds to novelty, to surprise, to playful uncertainty. Challenge creates engagement. Without engagement, attraction fades. Don't attack, invite play. The third trigger is selective attention. This one changes lives because attention has become cheap. Everyone is available, everyone is reachable, everyone is constantly seeking approval. Scarcity matters, not because you're playing games, because you actually have a life. Purpose, goals, friends, passions, direction. Imagine she sends a message. You respond later because you're genuinely occupied building something meaningful. Not because you're calculating, because your life is full. Your attention becomes valuable. People value what has value. The subconscious recognizes this immediately. A man with purpose creates intrigue. A man waiting by the phone creates concern. Build your life first. This is the foundation of all attraction. If this is making sense so far, hit subscribe and join the Stoic Way community. It helps more men learn what they were never taught. Now let's go deeper, because this is where many women start creating distance. And it's not because attraction is dying, it's because attraction is becoming important. The stronger emotions become, the more vulnerable someone feels. Think about your own experiences. The people who mattered most had the greatest ability to affect your emotions. The same applies to women. When feelings become significant, self-protection often appears. She becomes cautious, observant, less predictable. Not because she doesn't care, because she suddenly does. The fourth trigger is intentional listening. This one is criminally underrated. Most men hear words, very few hear emotions. Women notice the difference. Let's say she mentions her favorite childhood memory during a casual conversation. Weeks later, you remember it. You bring it up naturally, not as a tactic, as genuine attention. Suddenly, she feels seen. Not observed, seen. The human brain craves recognition, deep recognition. The feeling that someone understands parts of us that others overlook. When you remember details, you communicate emotional awareness. And emotional awareness creates connection. Listen beyond the words. The fifth trigger is calibrated vulnerability. Notice the word calibrated, not emotional dumping, not trauma broadcasting, not playing the victim. Real strength includes honesty. Many men hide everything. They think mystery means emotional walls. It doesn't. Mystery is depth, not secrecy. Imagine sharing a genuine challenge you faced. Not for sympathy, not for validation, just truth. You explain what happened, what you learned, how you grew. Now she sees something important, a real man, not a performance. Authenticity creates trust. Trust creates emotional investment. Women are often attracted to men who possess both strength and humanity. Strong enough to stand, open enough to connect, share your truth, not your wounds. Now let's address something many men misunderstand. When a woman keeps her distance despite caring deeply, she is often watching. Quietly, carefully, she is looking for consistency. Anyone can act attractive for a week. Anyone can perform confidence temporarily. But consistency reveals character, and character is what determines long-term attraction. This is why chasing rarely works. Chasing communicates urgency. Urgency communicates fear. Fear communicates dependency. Dependency weakens attraction. The irony is painful. The harder you pursue certainty, the less certain the connection becomes. The more you trust yourself, the stronger the connection often grows. This isn't manipulation, it's psychology. People are drawn toward those who seem emotionally complete, not perfect, complete. A woman wants to feel chosen, not responsible for your happiness. There's a huge difference. And once you understand it, relationships become dramatically easier. Now let's talk about the sixth trigger, gradual physical touch. Notice the word gradual. Respect matters, timing matters, context matters. Human connection is physical as well as emotional. Appropriate touch increases feelings of familiarity and closeness. Oxytocin plays a role here, the bonding hormone. A brief touch on the arm during laughter, a warm greeting hug, a hand guiding her through a crowded space. Simple, natural, respectful, nothing forced, nothing rushed. Physical connection grows best when trust already exists. When done correctly, touch reinforces attraction. When done poorly, it destroys it. Move with awareness, not urgency. Here's something fascinating. Many women pull away the moment they realize they truly like someone. Why? Because real attraction creates risk. Suddenly, rejection matters. Suddenly, loss becomes possible. Suddenly, emotions become real. Distance becomes a protective mechanism, a way to regain emotional balance. This is why desperate pursuit often backfires. She is trying to understand her feelings. Meanwhile, the man panics and starts demanding answers. The pressure rises, the attraction falls. What she needed was space. What he provided was pressure. The outcome becomes predictable. This is where stoicism becomes powerful, not emotional suppression, emotional mastery. The ability to remain steady while uncertainty exists. The ability to trust reality instead of forcing outcomes. The ability to let attraction breathe. Many men lose relationships not because attraction disappeared, because patience disappeared. Remember that. Patience is attractive, desperation is expensive. Now we arrive at the final trigger, the one almost nobody uses correctly. Controlled unpredictability. This is not inconsistency. It is not manipulation. It is not hot and cold behavior. It's far more subtle. The human brain loves rewards, but dopamine spikes most strongly when rewards contain a degree of uncertainty. Think about your favorite stories. You know something good is coming. You just don't know exactly when. That's anticipation, that's engagement, that's emotional investment. Imagine you've been seeing a woman for several weeks. Most men become entirely predictable. Same messages, same timing, same routines, same conversations. Nothing surprises her, nothing stimulates curiosity. But you remain dynamic. One day you suggest a spontaneous coffee. Another day you're focused on your own projects. One conversation is playful, another is thoughtful. Your personality reveals layers, depth, range, movement. Now she becomes curious, and curiosity is powerful. The unknown attracts attention, not because people love confusion, because people love discovery. Women are often drawn toward men who continue revealing new dimensions over time. A man with depth creates fascination. A man with endless predictability creates comfort alone. Attraction needs both, comfort and discovery, security and mystery, groundedness and movement. Controlled unpredictability creates that balance. Stay consistent in character, remain surprising in expression. That's the difference. And when a woman who deeply cares about you keeps her distance, one trait is often hiding underneath everything we've discussed. Self-protection, not rejection, self-protection. She doesn't want to get hurt. She doesn't want to misread the situation. She doesn't want to invest emotionally in the wrong person. So she watches, she waits, she evaluates. The question is not whether she feels something. The question is whether your behavior gives her confidence in those feelings. Not through words, through patterns, through consistency, through emotional strength, through purpose, through patience. This is why understanding psychology matters, not to manipulate, to understand, not to control, to connect, not to trick, to communicate value honestly. Real attraction cannot be forced, but it can be nurtured. The man who understands this stops obsessing over every text message. He stops analyzing every delay, stops assuming the worst. He becomes calmer, more focused, more attractive naturally, because his confidence no longer depends on immediate validation. He understands that attraction grows best when both people have room to breathe. He trusts the process, and that trust changes everything. The greatest shift happens when you stop asking, "How do I make her like me?" and start asking, "Am I becoming the kind of man who naturally creates attraction?" That's a stronger question, because now the focus returns to you, your mission, your growth, your standards, your emotional control, your ability to remain grounded while life unfolds. Women notice that immediately. The world notices that immediately. And the beautiful part is that none of these principles require deception. No games, no manipulation, no pretending. Just awareness, intentional action, and respect. Real tools, not tricks. Use them with respect. Use them with intention. Because attraction built on authenticity lasts longer. You do not need perfection. You do not need flawless confidence. You do not need perfect looks. You need strategy. You need understanding of the hidden patterns most people never learn. That's how transformation happens. Quietly, gradually, powerfully, one insight at a time. And once you understand why a woman might keep her distance, you stop taking it personally. You stop assuming rejection. You stop chasing answers. You start observing patterns. You start building value. You start becoming. And that's when everything changes. Because the man who understands these principles carries himself differently. He walks differently, speaks differently, responds differently. His confidence comes from knowledge. His strength comes from self-control. His attraction comes from who he is becoming. That is the Stoic Way. Subscribe to the Stoic Way now. The next one will shift your reality again.